Welcome to our deep dive into the future of air combat. Today we're exploring the cutting-edge technologies and concepts behind sixth-generation jet fighters. These aren't your everyday fighter jets. We're talking about aircraft so advanced they sound like they've flown right out of science fiction. But this isn't sci-fi. It's the very real future of aerial warfare. We're talking about planes that can potentially outmaneuver, outgun and outsmart anything else in the sky. Over the next few minutes, we'll break down the 8 key technologies that will define these next-generation warplanes. From revolutionary stealth capabilities to the mind-blowing potential of artificial intelligence, get ready to explore a world where the line between pilot and machine blurs and the future of air combat takes flight. Remember when stealth technology was this big, mysterious thing? Well, get ready for stealth on steroids. Sixth-generation fighters are set to become practically invisible to enemy radar. We're talking about advanced materials, coatings that absorb radar waves, and even the possibility of shape-shifting aircraft that can adapt their profile in flight to minimize detection. Imagine a fighter jet that can slip past enemy radar systems completely undetected, like a phantom in the sky. That's the promise of sixth-generation stealth technology, but it's not just about radar anymore. These new fighters will need to be invisible to a whole range of sensors, including infrared, acoustic, and even electromagnetic emissions. It's like trying to hide a birthday cake from a room full of hungry kids, except the kids have X-ray vision, super hearing, and can smell frosting from a mile away. To combat this, designers are looking at things like infrared suppressing engines and specially designed exhaust systems that diffuse heat, making the aircraft harder to detect against the cold backdrop of the sky. And it's not just about hiding, it's about confusing. We're talking about electronic warfare systems that can jam enemy sensors, creating ghost signals and false targets, essentially giving their radar a serious case of the hiccups. It's a technological game of cat and mouse, and in the silent, invisible battleground of the future, the sixth-generation fighter is being designed to disappear completely. Sixth-generation fighters won't just be flown by humans, they'll be flown in partnership with some of the most advanced AI systems ever created. We're talking about artificial intelligence capable of analyzing massive amounts of data in real time, making lightning-fast decisions, and even taking control of the aircraft in critical situations. Imagine a pilot in the heat of combat, overwhelmed with information coming from every direction. Now imagine an AI co-pilot that can process all that data instantly, identify threats, recommend countermeasures, and even take over flying the plane if the pilot becomes incapacitated. That's the potential of AI in sixth-generation fighters. This isn't about replacing pilots, it's about giving them a super-powered wingman. These AI systems will act as force multipliers, allowing pilots to focus on the most critical tasks while the AI handles everything else. We could see AI managing electronic warfare systems, deploying countermeasures, and even flying the aircraft independently during long-range missions, freeing up the pilot for more strategic tasks. And while the idea of an AI co-pilot might seem like something out of a sci-fi movie, the technology is already being developed and tested today. In fact, some of the building blocks of this technology are already being used in existing aircraft. So buckle up, because the future of air combat is about to get a whole lot smarter. Picture this: a single sixth-generation fighter jet acting as the tip of the spear, commanding a whole squadron of unmanned drones. These aren't your average drones, though. We're talking about advanced autonomous aircraft capable of carrying out a wide range of missions, from reconnaissance and electronic warfare to even engaging in direct combat. This is the future of manned-unmanned teaming, where human pilots work seamlessly with AI-controlled wingmen. Imagine a swarm of drones acting as a single coordinated unit, overwhelming enemy defenses, providing targeting information for the lead fighter, and even sacrificing themselves to protect the human pilot. These drones could be used to scout ahead, identify targets, and even draw enemy fire, allowing the manned fighter to stay out of harm's way. They could also be used to jam enemy radar, launch electronic attacks, and even carry out airstrikes. This kind of coordinated multi-platform warfare is a game changer. It means that sixth-generation fighters won't just be fighting other aircraft, they'll be commanding entire battle spaces, acting as the nerve center for a network of manned and unmanned systems. And while the idea of unmanned fighters might seem a bit unnerving, it's important to remember that these systems will still be under human control. The pilot of a sixth-generation fighter won't just be flying a plane. They'll be conducting an orchestra of advanced technology, orchestrating a symphony of destruction. Remember the days when breaking the sound barrier was a big deal? Sixth-generation fighters could be leaving sonic booms in the dust. We're talking about engines so powerful they could make supercruise sustained supersonic flight without using afterburners, the new normal. Imagine a fighter jet that can effortlessly cruise at supersonic speeds, covering vast distances in the blink of an eye, all while maintaining fuel efficiency for extended missions. That's the promise of advanced propulsion technology in sixth-generation fighters. We're talking about things like scramjet engines, which could propel aircraft to hypersonic speeds, and even more exotic concepts like pulse detonation engines, which promise incredible power and efficiency. But it's not just about speed, it's about maneuverability. These next-generation engines will need to be highly responsive, allowing for lightning, fast acceleration, tight turns, and even the ability to hover like a helicopter. And let's not forget about fuel efficiency. With combat ranges expected to increase, sixth-generation fighters will need to be able to stay in the air longer and fly further than ever before. That means we could see the development of hybrid engines, combining traditional jet technology with electric power or even the use of alternative fuels. The future of air combat is fast approaching, and with these advancements in propulsion technology, it's going to be one heck of a ride. Sixth-generation fighters will be more than just aircraft. They'll be flying sensor platforms equipped with some of the most advanced radar, infrared, and electronic warfare systems ever devised. We're talking about a level of situational awareness that borders on precognition. Imagine a fighter jet that can see in every direction simultaneously, detecting threats from miles away, even through dense fog, heavy rain, or complete darkness. That's the power of the sensor fusion we can expect to see in sixth-generation fighters. They'll be able to detect and track multiple targets simultaneously, identify enemy aircraft based on their radar signature, and even see through camouflage and other forms of concealment. But it's not just about seeing, it's about understanding. These fighters will be able to share information seamlessly with other aircraft, ground stations, and even satellites, creating a complete and constantly updated picture of the battlefield. This level of interconnectedness will be crucial in future conflicts, where the ability to make split-second decisions based on accurate information could mean the difference between victory and defeat. We're talking about a level of battlefield awareness that would make even the most experienced fighter pilot's head spin. Sixth-generation fighters might be the first to truly bring directed energy weapons like lasers and microwaves to the fight. Forget bullets and missiles. These weapons fire beams of pure energy at the speed of light. Imagine a fighter jet that can disable enemy aircraft, destroy incoming missiles, or even cripple ground targets with pinpoint accuracy, all without ever firing a single shot. That's the potential of directed energy weapons in sixth-generation fighters. Lasers, for example, could be used to target and destroy enemy aircraft, missiles, or even drones with incredible precision. High-powered microwaves could disable enemy electronics, effectively frying their systems and rendering them useless. And because these weapons are powered by electricity, they offer several advantages over traditional munitions. First, they're essentially unlimited as long as the aircraft has power. Second, they travel at the speed of light, making them virtually impossible to dodge. Now, developing these weapons to a point where they're practical and reliable is no small feat. It's a massive technological challenge, but the potential payoff is huge. Sixth-generation fighters won't be limited to just one type of mission. These aircraft are being designed with versatility in mind, capable of seamlessly transitioning from air superiority to ground attack, electronic warfare, and reconnaissance, often in a single sortie. Imagine a fighter jet that can take off from a base in one country, fly halfway across the world, engage in a dogfight with enemy aircraft, provide close air support to troops on the ground, and then return to base all on a single tank of fuel. That's the kind of global reach and multi-role capability that sixth-generation fighters are expected to have. They'll be able to perform a wider range of missions than any fighter jet in history, making them incredibly valuable assets in any conflict. This increased versatility will be achieved through a combination of factors, including advanced avionics, sophisticated sensor suites, and the ability to carry a diverse payload of weapons and equipment. We're talking about aircraft that can be reconfigured in flight to suit the mission at hand, transforming from stealthy bombers to electronic warfare platforms at a moment's notice. The future of air combat is about adaptability, and sixth-generation fighters are being designed to be the ultimate multi-tools of the sky. Step into the cockpit of a sixth-generation fighter and you won't find a maze of dials and gauges. These aircraft will feature intuitive interfaces, augmented reality displays, and voice-activated controls, all designed to minimize cognitive load and maximize pilot awareness. Imagine a cockpit that's more like a fighter pilot's personalized battle command center. Augmented reality helmets will overlay critical information directly onto the pilot's visor, highlighting threats, displaying flight data, and even providing a 360-degree view of the airspace around the aircraft. Forget clunky joysticks. Pilots might control these aircraft with a combination of voice commands, gesture recognition, and even thought-controlled interfaces. This is about creating a symbiotic relationship between pilot and machine, where the aircraft becomes an extension of the pilot's will. With all the advanced technology on board these fighters, it's easy to forget that there's still a human being in the cockpit. But the pilot remains the most critical component of any combat aircraft, and the cockpit design of sixth-generation fighters reflects that. These cockpits will be designed to minimize distractions, reduce stress, and allow pilots to focus on what they do best, making strategic decisions and outmaneuvering the enemy. These sixth-generation jet fighters represent the pinnacle of military aviation technology, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in air combat. From their revolutionary stealth capabilities to their mind-blowing AI systems, these aircraft are poised to revolutionize aerial warfare as we know it. But beyond the impressive technology, it's important to remember that these fighters represent a new era of human ingenuity and innovation. They're a testament to our ability to push the limits of what's possible and create machines that defy imagination. Stay tuned as we continue to follow their development and the future of aerial warfare. The skies are about to get a whole lot more interesting.